Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Feature in Focus, where we will be diving into the value of sponsoring your job ads through Ideal Trades. My name's Brandy. I am the CS team lead here at Ideal Trades, and I have a special guest today. We have Faith joining us. Faith, if you want to introduce yourself for a moment.
Yeah, thanks, Brandy. I am the hiring services manager for our virtual hiring assistant program. So I work with Keegan and that team. So yeah, excited to be here. I'm excited. This is a pretty big topic for a lot of people. So I'm excited. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Faith, if you could give us a maybe 30-second, 1 minute pitch of what VHA is. I know some of our attendees today maybe have heard of it, but maybe just a quick kind of what that looks like because some clients might not have spoke to you before.
Absolutely. So VHA is like a white glove add-on to your basic Ideal Traits account. So we pretty much take over the platform for you. And kind of what I describe it as taking care of like all the grunt work, all of the like heavy lifting that most people don't want to do. So contacting candidates, writing job ads, doing a market research, the first initial setup of the account. And then we handle the bulk candidate engagement for everybody's accounts as well too. So we'll do candidate calls for them to do the assessment, to do the video interview, and then we will also review those candidates with you guys as well to see who would be best suited for that role ultimately. So that's very high level, but yeah, it just gives a quick rundown.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
With VHA, sponsorship is something that comes up in conversation. So that is why Faith has lots of experience and kind of popping on with us today. So, couple housekeeping things before we dive into sponsorship. As always, this is recorded, so if you do got to jump to something mid-webinar, it will be emailed out to everyone, and you will be able to review it as well. We'll be going over kind of the steps of how to set up a sponsorship, so definitely feel free to look back at these videos. It will walk you through. We do have the chat down below if you want to send any questions. We'll also do some Q&A at the end if anything pops up. But we'll dive into it and kind of start talking about sponsorship. So, share my screen. Awesome. Alrighty. Perfect. Okay. So everyone with Ideal Traits knows that once you post your job on the Jobs tab, we will send your job to all of the major job boards. So what is the difference of sending your job organically to the job boards, and what is the difference of applying that additional sponsorship? So when you do post your job ad organically through our site, it is going to be sent to all of those job boards as just a standard job posting. So it is still being posted right up there. It is still popping up in the search results when candidates are searching. And it is out collecting applications. When you apply a sponsorship to the ad, it really is just enhancing. Someone the other day said to me about a week ago, they're like, "This is putting your job ad on steroids." And I was like, "Sure,
So,
I like it."
okay.
So it's really putting an extra boost behind that job ad. So it's going to increase the visibility. Indeed will look at candidates' resumes and it will actually start to email your job ad and show it in front of candidates that match your requirements. Indeed also offers some additional advertising on other websites where they will push it out into other advertisements and really just getting it in front of more candidates than just a standard job posting. You're going to get a larger candidate pool because it's getting in front of more eyes. And then it's also going to increase that applicant flow. So you post a organic job, kind of the applications start flowing in, adding that boost, getting in front of more people. It's just going to speed up that process. Um, and then finally, it really depends kind of on your market. If other employers in your area are sponsoring their jobs, it's going to help you be competitive against their ads. If they're putting some money behind their ads, then you're really just trying to keep up with the competition so that you are right up there against those other job ads. Is anything to add on that kind of with organic versus sponsored?
I mean, I would just hit on your faster applicant flow point. I had a client one time, they did a sponsorship, and I think within 20 minutes, I'm not kidding, they had went from like 5 applies to 15. Their email inbox was just blowing up. They're like, I don't know what's going on, but like, how do we like slow it down? So it really does like in real time. It's kind of crazy just to, like watch it like
Yeah,
basically take off. So
for sure. So when it comes to sponsorship, you guys have two options within your account. So you have the ZipRecruiter and Indeed. Both are great options that we have partnerships with. We are a platinum partner with Indeed, so we work very closely with them, but we also work pretty closely with ZipRecruiter. They are very different in the setup of your ads or of your sponsorship, I should say. So with ZipRecruiter, it is a flat fee. You enter your credit card in, a flat fee of $2.99, and then you sit back and 30 days that job is sponsored, and that is what you get. They do not offer any analytics of how it's going. If you take your job ad down before those 30 days, it is a flat fee. There is no changing of that price of the flat fee of $2.99 versus Indeed gives you a little bit more customization. So you are able to customize your budget based on what you want to spend. You actually get to divide it between either 15 or 30 days. So really getting the option of a quicker campaign, or if you want to spread it out a little bit more. Um, Indeed offers some really great analytics too that we'll show some screenshots later on. Really breaking down the clicks, the views, the applications, does a little math if you want to see kind of your percents. And then it also gives the option of if you take down your job ad before it has spent the full budget, you don't have to be charged for that remaining budget. So it gives you a lot of flexibility if maybe you hire for a role before it spent that full dollar amount, you can take it down, save a couple bucks, stop that budget kind of early. Also with Indeed, and Faith, I'll put you on the spot here, they do offer a new user credit. Faith, I know with BHA, some clients use that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
so basically if you don't have an Indeed account with just say Brandy's email on her account is brandy at idealtraits.com. If she does not have an Indeed account with brandy at idealtraits.com, you qualify for a new user credit and it's $100. So you can spread that out. I've had some clients that have done $50 for 30 days and they've gotten a couple months out of sponsorship and it's worked out really well. And I've had some that will just use the full $100 for the first 30 days as well too. So it really just kind of depends on your preference and how you want to expand it out. But yeah, $100 for new users that do not currently have an Indeed account with whatever email is associated with your Ideal Traits account. So
And that is a special link if you are interested in that new user credit. So we will include that in the email that goes out with this recording. But if you ever have questions, definitely schedule a call with support or chat in, and we can pass that link out to you too. Just make sure you use that link to make sure you get that credit since you are part of Ideal Traits and it's part of our partnership with that credit. Um, so you got Zip, you got Indeed. When should you sponsor? So if you are already have a job ad posted and you are wanting to get some candidates quicker, you're like, I'm looking to make a hire yesterday. I need people right now. Maybe you should consider adding a sponsorship. Maybe you've had a job ad posted for a couple weeks. Candidate traction has really slowed down and you're looking kind of to refresh it, maybe consider adding a sponsorship. And then also, based on your market, this is something that we deal with clients all the time. If you are in a very competitive market, a larger city that has lots of job ads, you search a similar title to what you're posting, and 500 job ads are popping up in your area. Um, that is something you really want to consider sponsorship. It is going to help get your job ad higher on the job board. You might have to scroll a couple pages back to find yours, and adding that sponsorship is really just going to move it up quicker for more candidates to come across faster. Faith, you work with clients all over the US and in
Yeah.
lots of different markets.
Oh yeah.
What do you kind of see like with the different markets that you work with in sponsorship?
I mean, every single person is going to be different, right? Every single client's going to be different. But I will say, if you're the biggest thing on like what you're looking for, really plays a big factor in that. And obviously the area you play as well too. So like we had a couple of clients in Minnesota, their budgets were quite a bit significantly higher than somebody that might be in like Rhode Island, you know. So it really does depend on where you're at, but that's where I would say rely heavily on that recommended budget. And Brandy will get more into that a little bit in a little bit. But recommended budget is going to be a big thing. But yeah, I mean, it's really also being flexible to what you're looking for as well too, but that's also a conversation for another time as well. But
Yeah. So when applying a sponsorship, you have kind of two options. So when you first immediately post your job ad, as soon as you click post ad, there is a window that pops right up asking if you would like to sponsor your job ad. Or if, let's say, you already have an ad active and you want to apply a sponsorship later on, you are able to, in that action drop down where you can make edits, there is a button to add a sponsorship as well. So I typically recommend if you are going to do ZipRecruiter where it's on for 30 days, repost your job ad so it is going to a fresh job ad. If it's something that's been live for maybe a month, quite a long time, refresh it just so it helps kind of make the analytics as clean as possible. And also, it's just a clean, fresh ad going out to those job boards. So as I mentioned, once you post your job ad, this is the screen that will pop up. So it's giving you the option of, would you like to go down the Indeed route or would you like to go sponsor on ZipRecruiter? If you click continue for ZipRecruiter, it is going to allow you to enter a credit card in right through Ideal Trades. So again, this is a one-time flat fee. $2.99 will instantly be charged to you. The ad is now sponsored for 30 days, and there is nothing else you need to do. If you change your mind after this, that is locked in, the flat fee. So let that job ad be live for a full 30 days. We do have some clients who will take it down after a couple weeks, not realizing the sponsorship is attached to that job ad. So you will lose out on that job ad if you do take it down for any reason. Then if you choose the Indeed route, this is where you will connect your Indeed employer account. So if you already have an Indeed account, you'll enter your email in right here. If you don't and you want to use that new user credit, you will click in the link individually that will send out to you guys. And then once you create that account, you'll plug that email in right here. If you're new, you will have a couple little steps to go. You'll got to allow Indeed access to Ideal Trades access to Indeed, but this will now connect those two pages. So if you have a company page on Indeed, now they're connected up. And this will ensure any of your Indeed analytics, the billing through Indeed, your credit card saved on Indeed is all now connected to Ideal Trades. So, Faith, will you take us through maybe this a little bit of setting up a budget and kind of what that looks like with the clients you work with?
absolutely. So typically, automatically right away when you kind of get to the screen, it's going to always default to that one-time campaign. So if you want to set up as recurring, you can. Um, this kind of just keeps it going. It's automatically going to renew every single month. So that is kind of one thing to just remember on a recurring weekly campaign. It's going to keep happening. You always have the choice between 30 days and 15 days. Still keep in mind though that you have to do at least $50. On the right, you'll see where it says Indeed campaign prediction. I love this, and I know Keegan, I mentioned him as well. He loves this as well. This is really big. This is what we were talking about with your competitors and what to really expect. Depending on your area, really can depend on obviously what that budget is. So if you have a lot of people in your area that are also looking for the exact same role that you're looking for, if you're looking for somebody with certain qualifications, maybe they need to have certain software experience, certain license, certain certification. If you want them bilingual, all of those are going to be factors in what that recommended budget is. Um, Really cool about that prediction too is Indeed runs an algorithm for your area as well. So they'll look at what you're offering versus what your competitors are offering, and then also how many competitors you have as well too, and that's how they come up with that budget, with that recommended budget. So you can do the recommended budget, you can do again that custom amount. um, Either way, I mean, I normally would recommend staying as close to that recommended as possible, because there's a reason why they're giving you that budget. So if it is 1500 but you only do 50, it's gonna be that's a big difference, so one thing I will note, if you do choose to go the custom amount route, this is more kind of um, a small detail to remember. Don't put any dollar amounts or anything like that. You just want to put the values. Otherwise, it won't let you go on to the next page either. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So
We do get that a few times.
a
People are
lot.
like, why isn't it working?
What's going on?
Yes. Perfect. So once you get your set of how many days, you either do the recommended budget or type in your custom amount, you'll be able to click create campaign. So now job is live on the job boards, that budget is active, and then it is going to start spending on Indeed. So I mentioned before, you are setting up a budget, but you will only get charged as that budget starts to spend and candidates start to click, view, the impressions, the implies, all that stuff starts to come through. So once you get your job ad posted, the screenshot up here on the left, you will see the sponsorship is added right there with that blue tag. So you'll know that job is sponsored. And just below it, you'll see the Indeed View report. And this is so, so helpful. So this is going to break down what you originally budgeted for this ad. And then as it starts to spend and get traction, it's going to give you all the analytics so you can watch kind of over time. So maybe it recommended a way higher budget and you did lower. You can see exactly kind of what that money would do in your market. This example over here, it's showing they set up a budget for $136. You can see their impressions, clicks. It gave them about 39 sponsorship applies. I love the percents because it's kind of showing you the apply rate. So then you can kind of do a little math in the future. Like, hey, last time I spent this much, I got this many applies. I'm looking maybe to hire 2 sales reps or 2 people in this role. I want to sponsor a little bit more next time to hopefully aid in more candidates. Um, One thing I'll touch on too at the bottom, it shows you what has been spent so far. And I mentioned this before. Let's say you sponsor for 30 days. After 2 weeks, you find a great candidate. You want to take down the job ad. With Indeed, if you take down that job ad, it will stop spending and you'll only get charged for what the budget spent. So in this case, they still have $50 remaining in their budget. If we pause this ad right now, they wouldn't get charged that remaining $54. So it gives you a little bit more of a customizable budget. You can kind of pick and choose. And as well as you can always add a budget on top of this. So let's say it spent the $136. You want to add more to keep the budget going. You guys are able to do that as well. Faith, do you guys look at these analytics often with your clients on VHA?
Oh, every day. Every day. I love these analytics, and a lot of people really this is new for them, right? Because either they're a new user, maybe they don't know that it's even here potentially. We love this. We love looking at the apply rate. You mentioned the clicks versus the applies and those impressions. If there's a really big difference in those, then we're looking at that because either content is off or placement is off. Something's happening, right? So that really also tells us, okay, we need to do another market research to see what's going on. Why is it performing the way it's performing? We like to look at the apply rate as well too. There is a certain, normally we want to see that between 10 15% for the apply rate. If it's over, that's great. Obviously, for this client, it's at 19%. We're like, we're doing a little dance for you guys. Like, yes, this is where we want to be. One thing I did want to mention too with the billing as well, ZipRecruiter, when you do your sponsorship through them, it charges you that as soon as you click submit, that payment hits. But with Indeed, they don't actually charge till the next month. So I did want to mention that as well too. So let's say for this example, this client did pull it down. That $81 isn't going to even get charged on whatever card you have on file with Indeed until that next month as well too. So just something I wanted to note.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Um, Also to touch on too, this big blue Indeed analytic dashboard up here, that will take you right into your Indeed account. So at any time, Indeed handles all of their own billing. You can apply the sponsorship through us, but we do not take the money when you sponsor with Indeed. So if you need to update the credit card with Indeed, if you want to see invoices, if you want a breakdown of all the money spent, um, right in your account, you can click that Indeed Analytics dashboard. It'll take you right there, and you're able to kind of look at everything that's been sponsored. Once in a blue moon, we get someone reaching out saying, "Hey, my ad's not spending anymore. If your credit card's expired, you can go right
Mhm.
on there and update that." Happens more often than people realize. But alrighty, so we know how to sponsor on Indeed, on ZipRecruiter. When it comes to, we've talked a little bit about how to find the budget on Indeed, but to dive a little bit farther into it. So factors that really can change your budget with Indeed. One of the big ones is location. And I know, Faith, you kind of mentioned this already. If
Mhm.
you are in a bigger city where there are hundreds of similar job ads in your area, I also work with some clients who are in a very rural area where there's very limited people in their area, where sponsorship really helps kind of push their job out as well. With requirements, we've mentioned too. So if you're looking for someone with a certain license, maybe they have to be bilingual, maybe they have to have 5 years of experience, or all three of those things, and you are looking for a unicorn to have all of these different requirements. Sponsorship can definitely help because it's really going to get more eyes on your job ad to hopefully find more candidates with all those requirements you're looking for. Um, and then as well as competitors in your current market. So one thing that FACE Team does, if you are on our VHA program, is market research, really diving into what is the business down the road, similar to yours, offering in salary and benefits. What is everyone else titling their job ads? Faith, can you go in a little bit more of kind of what that market research looks like and then how that works with sponsorship?
Said it perfectly. So, like the business that is down the street, what are they offering? Are they offering health insurance? A lot of people that are on VHA are a little bit smaller, so they might not offer health insurance, but maybe they offer a health stipend instead, where that gets added to employees' checks every single month. Is it sales incentives? What are some other things that you might be offering that are unique that the person down the road isn't offering? So all of those are taken into consideration as well too. Um, when and the reality of it, when you're looking at competitors, we do a search. That's pretty much it. And just looking at other people in the area. It's a little bit more in depth on remote, because remote obviously is going out to the whole country, so you're competing with quite a few more people. But normally the sponsorship budget and what's recommended is actually lower under a fully remote job ad versus one that is in office. Most more people more often than not are looking for something remote versus in office. So that's something
Sure.
that's a big factor. I mean, that in itself, if you've got a remote person near you, then that's high competition there for sure. So
Yeah, yeah. And one thing too, I'll touch on too, the time of year we've noticed does make a
yeah.
difference over the sponsorship budget. We see January, beginning of the year, everyone's posting jobs being like, I'm ready to start going, versus summer might slow down a little bit. People are on vacation, not really looking to hire at the time. Around holidays, it can kind of affect it too. So it is always kind of changing. If you sponsored maybe a year ago for X amount of dollars, and this year it's a little different, It is always kind of changing, and that's what that market research is. It really depends on what's going on around you and kind of what your competitors are doing. So you guys are always welcome to reach out to our support team. If you're on VHA, you'd work directly with Faith and Keegan, just asking these type of questions. We can kind of help dive into it a little bit deeper. We'll never tell you exactly how much to spend, but we can kind of help guide you looking into it, seeing what else is in your area as well.
You said something. You said your budget last year might not be the same as this year. I think that's also true for people that might not have sponsored last year but need to this year as
Yeah,
well too.
for
There
sure.
have been some people that have been able to run their ad organically and it's been okay for them. Whereas this year I'm like, okay, we might need a little bit of help here. So
Yeah.
sponsorship might be the route to go.
For
So
sure.
just
For
another
sure. And
point.
definitely too, like, I've worked with some clients who they are always hiring constantly. And they
Yeah.
are maybe they have we work with a couple dealerships where it's like they know they'll always need a salesperson on the floor. Like even if they're fully staffed, they're always looking.
Yeah.
So sponsorship is huge because it is just going to help kind of keep reaching out. Um, having the same job open for, let's say it's been open for a year and they're just constantly looking. Refreshing that ad definitely helps, but that sponsorship is helping get it in front of new candidates constantly versus the same kind of just organic traffic that's coming through. So keep that in mind as well. But I know we are almost out of time, but I did pull some analytics I wanted to show you guys of just the ads that have been posted through Ideal Traits over the last 30 days. So we looked at kind of the average budget and applies that our clients are getting from the clients who posted or sponsored on Indeed only. The average budget over the last 30 days was about $196. And those job ads were averaging about 37 applies each. So this doesn't guarantee if you spend $196, you're going to get 37 applies, but this is the average for the clients who are applying a sponsorship right now. With ZipRecruiter, we mentioned it's that flat $2.99 fee. The average applies for those was about 27 applications we saw. And then we have a handful of clients who did both. They are like, I need someone today, and I'm going to sponsor and invest really into this job ad. The average for that was about $495 on Indeed with $299 on ZipRecruiter, and that was averaging them about 104 applies. So quite a big increase. Obviously, they're investing a lot more into their sponsorship, aiding in those additional applies. But anything else you want to add kind of on this part, Faith?
I was just gonna say this is a great visual just to see like how the different sponsorships can affect it ultimately. Not a lot of people. Some people will do one of each, or will do a ZipRecruiter only, or just Indeed only. But for those folks, like we've talked about, that need to hire 2 weeks ago or needed to have butts in seats 2 weeks ago, it's highly recommended that you do both. The numbers don't lie. So
Yep. Yep. Well, awesome. Well, we'll open it up for some questions. I see a couple down here in our Q&A. Um, Let's see. Ooh, okay. So someone chatted in and said, I was not high on sponsorship and was very leery. I went from 8 candidates to 20 candidates in 2 days. So again, just kind of validating it really is going to help increase your candidate flow and just speed it up. Do you need a separate sponsorship for each job ad, or does the sponsorship apply to all posted job ads? That's a great question. So it does go on each individual job ad. And this is really kind of just to help you guys stay organized and break down the analytics. When you post a job ad, you will apply a sponsorship to that specific, and there is like a 6-digit job ad number. And that's just to help you guys when you look at your invoice, you'll see I sponsored $300 on this specific job ad. So it will be individual for each. And then are your average budget dollars the daily amount or the 30-day amount? So those were for the 30-day amount. So those numbers we just went over, that was their budget for their full campaign. So that was the average across 13 or sorry, 13, 15 or 30 days was spread across there. So great question as well. Any other questions? We'll give it another moment. But if not, we will be sending out this recording so you guys can look back on it. I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but if you need any assistance on applying a sponsorship, getting that new user credit set up, please schedule a call with our support team or chat in through your account. If VHA was something maybe you're interested in, looking for that extra white glove service with reaching out to candidates and what I would say, kind of having
Listen,
someone to talk
fun.
through
Extra
sponsorship.
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just like Faith today. Definitely reply
Yeah.
back
If you
to
want to just work with me, that's totally fine. And Keegan too.
but reply back to that recorded when the recording comes out, and we'll definitely get you guys in touch with Faith and kind of work on that as well. One more question came in. Do you find a higher need for sponsorship for in-office versus remote versus hybrid? Faith, you want to touch on that since you kind of work with
Yeah.
all three?
Yeah, I mean, fully remote versus a hybrid remote definitely is going to be a little bit lower of a budget. There's still going to be, I think, a need for it, but your in-office roles are definitely going to be a lot more recommended, I should say. And the budgets and what's recommended for an in-office job is also going to be higher as well, too. A lot of folks I know we mentioned are really looking for something remote or even hybrid remote. So your in-office roles, like I said, definitely going to have a higher recommended amount, and we'll definitely strongly recommend that more versus that remote versus hybrid remote.
For
So
sure. For sure. Awesome.
yeah.
All righty. Well, if you guys have any additional questions, again, reply to that email that will go out or schedule a call with us. We will see you all next week. We'll be going over Pulse in next week's Feature in Focus. So I will see you all then and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.